my name is Emily Cohen, and this is Ultimate 101, and in today's tutorial we'll be going over how to throw a forehand. The first step of getting a forehand has nothing to do with actually throwing a disc. It has to do with figuring out where your target actually is and where you need to aim in order for it to get there. So let's take these cones for example. There are a lot of different ways that I can make the disc go to the exact same spot. I can make it go straight to the cone, I can make it bend into the cone, and I can make it rise up or drop down into it. The only method where you can aim exactly at the endpoint is when you throw flat. When you throw flat, you will always release the disc at the same height of the target. So if the target is at your target's chest, you have to throw at the height of their chest. Not your chest, theirs. If the target is higher, you have to release the disc at a higher point. If the target is low, like around the knees, you have to release the disc at the level of their knees. Flat throws stay at the same height for the whole throw because they go straight to your target. If I aim for a flat throw, I cannot throw a rise, or I will miss high every time. Rises have to be aimed lower than the target because they bend upwards. Your hand needs to be completely flat when you release it. Not tilted up like this or down like this, just flat. Again, none of this. We go straight out to our target. Make sure the disc is flat or it won't go straight. We're throwing on a flat plane, not at angles. So when you throw a forehand, you don't just flick. You need to push and flick together. You can make it go flat just by flicking, but if you don't push, you won't be able to throw it very far. However, if you only push, it will be wobbly and not fly correctly because it doesn't have the proper spin. You need to do both together for it to work right. If you throw split, you do the same thing. You have to push and flick together. When you get to this point, you don't just stop. You continue your motion all the way through. However, you don't just turn your hand over. You get to this point and then you follow through. This is super important. This is what it looks like when you just turn your hand over. This is what we call pulling. Your fingers pull the disc to the left. This is not what you want to do. All of these are pulling examples with your hand. In addition, you can also pull with your body. Even though my arm is correct here, I'm still going to miss left because my body is pointing in the wrong direction. Your belly button should always be facing your target. That's how you know if you're doing it right. You must push out towards your target. I'm not turning. My body always faces the target. When my arm goes forward, I'm holding my body in place and forcing it to go in the direction that my arm is going. I don't allow it to turn. My fingers and my body have to point to the target. A huge part of not pulling comes from your footwork. When I step out, this is as far as I can possibly turn. However, I can turn a lot farther when I don't. Your footwork pushes your weight to the right side of your body and makes it much more difficult to turn your body left. If you just step out like this, that does absolutely nothing. You can still turn just as far. Your weight should be pushing sideways. This makes it as hard as possible to turn to the left. Your arm is what clears forward. Your body shouldn't turn. The better you are at distributing your weight, the harder it will be to turn left. So this is an example of when I do it correct. Look at how my palm is flat and how it's pointing right to my target. Then I follow through after I get to this point. In this example, I pull it, and you'll notice that the disc is actually flat, but my hand rolls over and makes it turn left. My hand looks completely different on the follow through. This is an inside out throw. It's pulling in the opposite direction. We fix this by keeping the angle of the disc flat and pushing straight out towards our target. From here on, it's just about putting everything together. We're using a flat approach, so we're aiming right at the target and at the height of it. We're keeping the disc flat, we're using good footwork, and we're pushing out towards the target. We're releasing at the correct time and then completing the follow through, not turning our hands over. Practice with good form and soon you'll have it down. If you still have questions or if this video helps you learn the forehand for the first time, definitely let me know in the comments section below. If you're really struggling, check out my practice support feature on my website. Like this video if you liked it, don't forget to subscribe, and be sure to share this with anyone you think could benefit from it. This is Ultimate 101, and I'll see you next time.